Now, the Democratic Party has been opposed to using ground troops to go into Raqqa and confront the ISIS terrorists. I think that has to happen. Most military experts agree with me. Where do you stand on that?
Well, Bill, I think we should look at the progress we are making against ISIS. It is a dream of ISIS to pull American ground troops back
NATO forces, it would be, not just American, well, NATO forces.
Well, but anytime we use NATO, America has to lead. We were very grateful when our NATO allies came with us into Afghanistan and into other places, but let's not kid ourselves. America leads. And what we've seen, because of American troops, we have about 5,000 in Iraq. We have special forces operating in both Iraq and Syria. We have been able to get the Iraqis, the Kurds, and others to do a much better job of fighting. In fact, a lot of experts believe that as we take territory back, we are going to be poised for a very important attack on Mosul. As we take territory back from ISIS forces, they will try to engage in other terrorist attacks.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. Sure, and
that's what they're doing now. So we've got to go after their headquarters. We have to keep pushing them into a smaller and smaller territory so that we can take out their leadership, take out their infrastructure, and do as much as possible to end territory.
But don't you think the world at this point, I think two things have to happen. Number one, President Obama has to call a summit meeting of all the Western countries, and ISIS has to be the focal point. We all have to join together. And number two, we have to make a statement. And the statement would be, we know they're in Raqqa, we know this is their headquarters, and that headquarters is 35 miles away from the Turkish border, a NATO ally, and we're going to come in, and that's not going to be their headquarters anymore. That's what I would do.
Well, look, that is, in my view, not the most effective way. What is happening now is we are taking territory back in Iraq. We are squeezing them with inconsistent air attacks. We have killed a number of their leaders. Assuming we are successful and American military leadership is in the hunt on this in Mosul, we are pushing the Turks. They have moved far more than they had, and in fact, probably the attack at the Istanbul airport was because the Turks are really cracking down. We are putting together a much more effective coalition. I would intensify those efforts. I have no problem with having a summit. I would include, however, not only NATO allies. We've got great allies in the region who are holding the line for us, places like Jordan, like Israel, others who are really on the front lines themselves.
Sure.